I mean, we'll see who we get.
In Jersey on Saturday.
I'm sorry. Wait, which Jersey? The new one or the old one?
New Jersey, Atlantic City. My fiance's birthday is Sunday, and we're getting together with her mom.
There is an old Jersey.
House. Yeah.
Yes, it's in England, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wish I was going to England.
That'd be awesome.
Nice.
But her mom has a beach house down in Atlantic City that she's renting, so we're all going down there Saturday to celebrate Hannah's 41st.
Joe won't be joining discussing tabletop. It's an unfortunate thing.
I thought I'd ask because in one of my other groups, one of the players won't be able to play on Saturday because she's going to Brazil from Wisconsin.
That's the thing.
Good far away.
We're playing Children of Wrath. Welcome, everybody. We were slightly distracted talking about the many announcements from Wizards today, which I honestly didn't expect as much as they gave. Last week, if you would have told me about this thing, I passed it off as just stupidity. Guess what? They proved me wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, do they not have the actual Unearthed out yet?
I can link it. Hold on.
Okay.
You have to get it through D&D Beyond.
Yeah, oh, okay, because I'm on just the Dungeons & Dragons website for Unearthed Arcana, and it's not there.
I haven't put it there.
I'll shove it here.
I didn't know they didn't always own D&D Beyond.
They didn't. They just bought it recently.
Oh, I didn't even know they bought it.
Oh, yeah.
They bought it like a couple months ago, right?
Yep.
Okay, because I knew it was heavily linked with them, but it was its own company.
They're
They
gonna start doing digital releases with their books now for it.
Ah.
I mean, it's close to being a PDF release for their book. Not great, but it's close.
Anyway,
we're going to be playing D&D while we complain. We're not complaining about D&D today. That's Saturday.
That's Saturday when us two old.
We're going to really talk about this stuff they've done.
I have opinions.
I have opinions too, I'm sure. Cough, cough, it's Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Cough, cough.
I don't have opinions because I'm young and hip.
I lost my youth when I became a cook.
I lost my youth when I was 16. I've always been an old soul. Sorry.
You mean a crotchety mother...
God damn it. Get off my goddamn fucking lawn. Damn kids.
No, your lawn's the nicest one in the neighborhood.
I actually think ours is not the nicest
old
right
school
now.
And say you're a cudgel.
Yeah.
Oh no, he mistook the word curmudgeon for cudgel at
Opposite.
one point, and he's like
cudgel for curmudgeon.
Yes, because you're like I pick up the curmudgeon and hit the guy with you.
No. I said I'll use my +1 curmudgeon because we were playing the Xbox D&D game, which was 4-player.
It's like you pick it up. Get off my front lawn!
It took us a minute to realize I was saying that, because I said it a lot of times, that conversation. Anyway, I was playing Cleric. I can't remember a lot about that D&D game. It was not very D&D-ish. I think it was supposed to be based on 4th edition, though. But it was for Xbox. It's a memory. We're playing 5th edition, though. Not their newfangled weird edition. Hey,
it's not enough out for that to play test, so you can't.
Yeah. If you missed last week, excitement happened. There was some death pits that you didn't enter, some gardens you did enter, this nice lava-y area. You found this furnace-y thing. I think that was
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and then
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. And then you went on this misadventures to try to find a buried ship. You found a different buried ship and woke it up and then killed its brain. And it may, if you talk to it, ask you what love was, having it gain sentience. What is love? Ow! But it didn't matter. It was horrible, evil ship anyway.
Death.
Yeah.
Is love.
If you talk to it, it might have asked. I'm just saying. But anyway.
Death is love.
And you found this nice part of a gigantic engine.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where we left off. So, what do you folks want to do?
Oh, I'm excavating. I'm excavating and transporting.
Where are you taking all the materials you are excavating out?
We have some of the materials set up in a little private area near the tower, which I am now referring to as the ship bay. Mm-hmm. Or no, what's it called? Dry dock. It's the dry dock.
Mm-hmm.
As dry as I can keep it, we are in a swamp.
It is very wet still.
Yeah, and this isn't a ship that goes in the water, like, necessarily anyway, but I'm lovingly referring to it as the dry dock.
All right, you can get a lot of the material left over from the ship, what you've been able to recover. The main engine components, of course. You broke down parts of the Phyrexian warship that you had broken down. You got as much as you could from that thing. So you've got a bunch of salvage, certainly. A lot of different pieces and components of various airships. Honestly, I'm going to tell you, a lot of the hull material is definitely outside of what you would assume a airship similar to the Weatherlight use. The Weatherlight uses more like magically reinforced like wood and stuff. This is a lot more heavy materials. Certainly they went for the idea of warship in the words, and power usage and things like that, and efficiency were not on their agendas, it seemed. It seemed their power was more blow shit up power rather than we're going to fly fast and efficiently power.
This has been on my character sheet since day one.
Mm-hmm.
I will craft a boat capable of sailing through the most dangerous of storms.
Mm-hmm.
That is my goal. This is not a warship.
Okay.
This is a ship to travel between planes.
So basically I'm
spell jamming.
Well, no, what I was going to say... Oh, Tantus, the cameras are not set right.
Why are they not set
I'm not right now. Cole, you're Claud.
Why are we in different positions?
I'm in the right spot.
Yeah, Carrion has her in the right spot, and so
if I'm Claude now, I chug the vial of blood.
No, you're Tantus right now.
I don't know why we're in different spots. That's weird.
I don't know, but I just noticed that. I'm like,
you're not correct.
It's just the three on the right side.
Yeah, I don't know why we're all in weird spots.
I'm always in the right spot.
Yeah.
Y'all need to get your game together.
Well, there we go. We're all back. That's an easy fix.
Thank you.
But that's a very... We were definitely in the wrong spots, but there must have been some kind of a... Oh! I had my camera off the other week because it was really hot. That's why I just moved us around. I forgot all about that because it was burning melt hot.
But going back to what Kaz said, so you want to be able to, your ship to be able to survive storms Cole creates.
I don't think. Look, obviously, yes, but that's not as big of a challenge. The storms of the cold expanse of space. That's the shit I'm doing.
I can also only create a storm once a month.
And you already did it.
Yep. So I gotta wait 30 days.
Mm-hmm. Probably honestly 23 days at this point in time.
Yep.
It's probably been almost a week. Transporting the giant ships and digging up things and adventures you've been on.
I'm old. I don't do any of the labor because I'm old.
You're not old anymore.
Yes, I'm old. It says on the character sheet, 63 years old.
But you're now 63 years young.
Doesn't mean anything.
You're just rich and don't want and lazy. That's what
Rich and old. I've already made it in life.
For now.
So, yeah, you can move a lot of materials and assemble them back at the dry docks, the space you've kind of taken over around the Evinkar Tower, the Rune Tower.
We gave them the tower. We're allowed to take what we want.
No, but close enough. I mean, they're not complaining, honestly, that you're working on some kind of weird project.
Honestly, well, this all weird, because Cole doesn't know shit about magic.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's established. He's gonna go explode the tower.
Okay.
Be careful. Last time we explored a building.
Explore. I thought you said explode the tower.
While you're around at one point in time, your aunt will approach you.
Gross.
Hello again. I wanted to tell you I'm going to go off on adventures. There's a world to see, more than a dank swamp.
congratulations. Don't get any STDs and try not to die, I suppose.
Yes, I'm hanging out with this nice goblin man who said he'd find me doing the right thing. I don't understand what that means, but he feels like if you've got a goblin that can basically, I believe he said, redeem the negative factors of the demonic bloodline.
Oh, I'm gonna kill him.
He can do the same for me.
I'm gonna slit his goddamn throat.
You know what? Really works out because you'd be taking that goblin away from here, and that means that I don't have to keep Kaz from killing his brother. Not that I have a problem with him killing his brother, I just feel like
I have learned recently that killing your siblings is bad, even if you indirectly don't do anything to stop it.
Hey, we were getting along just fine. You want to stop bringing that shit up?
I'm sorry. It's just I've learning lessons about what it is to be a person.
You know what? I do think that traveling with, I forget Kaz's brother's name because I don't really care.
I don't know his name
I
either.
feel like it'll be good for you. So you know what? Go with my blessing, whatever that fucking means to you.
Excellent. We'll have to meet again. I'll inform you of stories of things that have happened.
Sure. If you can find a way to, get letters to me or something, send me some letters. I'd like to know how you don't get Kaz's brother killed.
Give me a second here. She's actually gonna looks like slit part of her hand, hold it out, and then like a little drop of blood will come out, and it'll kind of form into this weird little shadowy bat creature, and it'd be like, I can send messages this way.
Well, the bat's cute. The blood part wasn't that fun, but the bat's cute.
It can deliver messages. I've never used it. I normally am around people that I need to speak to, or I just ignore them.
Yeah, that tracks.
All right. She just leaves.
You know what? That feels like how goodbyes should go with this family.
I don't think she understands the concept of just saying goodbye either.
No, but I feel like that's how that side of the family does that, so it's fine.
Yes. Okay. It'll take some time to build a vessel, but certainly you can assemble the materials. You probably have to bring in materials from somewhere, because honestly, there probably isn't the best materials here in Urborg. So probably taking a little extra time to ship in some stuff to this place. And I think it's probably going to be a couple months are going to roll by. Is there anything major anybody's going to do in a couple of months rolling by? Okay.
I'll turn 20. Why not?
Cole
I
might
just want to spend time with Buldrath.
Yeah.
Cole's just kind of stuck in this awful place.
Well,
you can go visit
Cole,
your family.
Yeah, you're allowed to leave.
Cole, I'm pretty sure you could probably reorganize their government structure of the resistance into an actual small
probably
government.
Gonna help them set up an actual government and some type of loan repayments and things like that.
Oh yeah, they'll help on that, and certainly they're bringing a new Urborg, necromancy without lichdom.
That's fine. Probably take the liberty of putting together some trade agreements and things. Boring business things that aren't building an airship.
I mean, again, they have contacts. They don't have full control over Urborg, honestly. They have a chunk of Urborg, but certainly that includes some farmlands and stuff that they can have a lot of.
Try and make
food.
these guys the more legitimate ones because they owe me money.
Yeah. They'll do a good job of setting up some kind of rudimentary control over this region and building a force that could possibly oppose the remaining factions of the Cabal that are in Urborg. Their philosophy for United Urborg. They've kind of put together like a ruling council at this point in time of just a bunch of whoever seem to be like the leaders of the resistance kind of thing. At this point in time, they'll figure something out later. They really don't know because honestly, like, maybe they'll get representatives of like, you know, villages. It's like, you got someone to represent us at the council? Great, you can come along. You know, that kind of shit.
Question.
Sure.
How long of a voyage would it be to get to, God, my brain is dying on names. The island of
Vesuvia?
Yes, Vesuvia.
You, in a couple of
And
months,
back.
could probably go there and back, honestly. If you
Cole, could you possibly book me a trip?
Probably. Cole could probably do that, and then while he's organizing stuff, he will probably have to return to Oravada to do paperwork to set up trade stuff with these guys.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he can spend some time with
There's
his
a
family.
boat. You can use that. Probably use the Hellkite.
Yeah. Cole technically has his own boats
Mhm.
that are technically here because he's mercenaries.
Yeah, and I don't want to, you know, be like, hey, Kaz, can I take the boat?
Oh,
Which
it's
you're
true.
probably
Kaz is
gonna be-
probably using the boat to get resources.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I can at least go to Vesuvia and hand back the mechanism and, you know, meet with them.
Certainly,
At
you'll
least
be able to
that can be
arrange
taken care of.
a meeting with the Queen of Vesuvia. She'll thank you for your assistance and help out, and hope that there can be a continued good fortune between your group. And perhaps this is a new sign of a renewed Vesuvia.
I wish you and yours luck with that as well. Also, is there anything part of... My brain is dead. Sorry, it's been a very long week at work.
That's fair.
Oh yeah, happens.
I understand that one, dude.
Been a while.
Bird-
back in there.
Bird's name.
Oh, yes.
Saria.
Sorry.
Daria. I almost did Sylvia. I'm like, that's not right. Is there any part of Saria still in? You know what I'm saying? Still in there? Saria.
Saria never truly existed. It was merely a echo of knowledge that I had imprinted onto the bird.
Well, they did make a good companion. And did teach me many things. I do appreciate that.
The lessons that you learned are good ones to learn. You've seen more truth in yourself. You are unique. You share similar abilities. As we have learned to exist with ourselves, but still remain peace with the outside because of our strange abilities, you have done the same too. The world is dangerous for those of us that can copy. We are seen as thieves, murderers, assassins, criminals, more often. But when we are together, we are seen as something more different. A kingdom is strengthened. You have found yourself a kingdom of one, but that is enough to hold yourself high. So I wish you luck, and know that you always will have friends here in Vesuvia.
That is appreciative. Thank you, and
We made some Mexican rice. if
good
you
luck
want
with your endeavors.
Thank you.
it. Okay, it's downstairs.
Okay. I was interrupted and informed of Mexican rice.
Nice.
I don't want it.
Extremis.
You know. Anyway, so yeah, you were saying something before I was interrupted by Mexican rice.
Yeah, I was just saying thank you, and I wish the device serves your people well.
Yes, I believe it shall. All right. So eventually, everybody can return to Urborg, as the work has been done on your vessel. You have completed. You've almost completed. Well, your work is almost done. So everybody's kind of come back. The business has been taken care of. Things have kind of settled down. Carrie, you've begun to understand the nature of the elements, the connections to actually Urborg and what is now Urborg Yavimaya combined. You can feel the energies of the land. And over the past few days, you've been feeling a strange stirring in the energy patterns. If you will, the ley lines of mana that exist throughout the world. Something is going on. You're not sure what it is, but there has been some kind of strange stirring. This kind of thing means something big is happening. Now, granted, it could be natural. In a world filled with magic, natural disasters that are fueled by magic happen. Massive volcanic eruptions that pulled in a lot of mana, things like that. It could warn you of that. It could also be unnatural, certainly. Something like the mana rig in Shiv. It can draw a lot of mana when it's fully functioning. It could be a big spell someone's casting. Could draw in a lot of mana. The thing is, it's subtle. So it's not something that's like, all the mana is being drained away. No. It's just that the mana flow is unusual, as if something somewhere is tapping into it. Who?
I told Kaz about it.
Yeah. Who and how big it is? That's a heavy question. Kaz is very busy, though. If you want to talk to him about him, he's in the middle of, probably right now, this is, the final areas where he's getting the engine set up correctly. It's basically...
Go ahead.
I would say he's probably rebuilding, basically, the main engine components to eliminate a lot of the Phyrexian components of it and basically ensure it's a cleaner system. Unfortunately, right now, Kaz, you think you need a better power supply.
Yeah.
You have, a good kind of temporary one, but I think that this is the kind of thing that I think you can say to yourself is, it needs an energy supply, and you don't have a good one right now.
Would a power stone work?
A power stone would do a decent job, but again, you'd have to worry about power stone radiation.
I have one.
You do have one.
It's in a man right now.
It isn't a man right now.
But I have thoughts about that.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Incorporate the man into the ship.
No, yeah, actually. He's currently my helmsman. And I think having an integrated helmsman on the ship could be worthwhile.
Turn him into the helm.
In a way, yeah.
But we would have an AI helm.
Yeah. He'd be up for it.
Helmsman, you have the bridge.
Alatar's a good
I am
fucking...
the bridge.
Alatar's a good boy. He'd do it.
So, you think, generally speaking, what the Phyrexian engine did before is it had basically forceful siphons that would draw directly in the natural mana of the environment. And the thing is, because the filters basically were mana sinks, that was part of the reason that, there was a lot of corruption of the energy. And probably a portion of the byproducts was very negative, was related to that. There was a chemical thing because they had they used the energy to kind of burn a kind of almost chemical fluid, almost like a version of Phyrexian oil, like a simplified one, almost like as a burned blood that kind of burned off clouds of stuff. But also, you found out more about it, that, yes, there was probably, pollutants, poisons, and stuff like that. It's damaging the mana in the area. And that's probably having after effects on people that use magic or would harness magic. Even magical-based beings would have effects on it. Someone like Carrie in long term would have strange effects on her being around this kind of area where it would burn.
Sure, so I'm not going to do that.
No.
That's why I'm rebuilding the engines.
Yeah. So the basic concepts of the engines work. It's just, again, you need energy source for it, which you currently don't have. You know that you would need something like the technical Power Stone that the Weatherlight has. But the Power Stone is an artifact on loan from Benalia, because the Weatherlight does very good things, and technically speaking, it's on loan from the Church of Sarah.
They don't like us.
They
What about-
accept you.
What about the batteries that ran the submarines?
I do have those.
Those would, at very least, give you some power for a period of time. Those wouldn't be a permanent solution. And honestly, you think that the ship itself, without the direct draws, would draw in a level of mana. You think that on its lowest settings for the engine, you probably don't need a lot of power, but it basically might allow you to hover. That's the easy part. Like, just getting this ship Skyborn, you think that's the level of power if it's just drawing the base mana from the area around it naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you could hover, you could also still harness wind, too.
It's true.
Yeah, you could kind of be a sailing vessel in the sky for now.
Oh, yeah.
It's slow, but it means...
It's the breaking the dimensional barriers part.
And it's going faster than a sailing ship part that's kind of difficult right now.
Yes. However, for the moment,
Mm-hmm.
the Hellkite 2 is a success.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not calling it the Predator. Why would I?
What
It's not
about
the Predator anymore.
being able to... Could we also maybe channel a spell through it to give you boosts of thrust
I mean,
for a short time?
Probably. Honestly.
yes. Oh, I can. It'll break things, but I can.
Mhm.
That's the problem. I can do this. It will start breaking things. It's
Yeah.
It's a matter of like finding the right power source so that I don't have to break things.
Yeah. You found it. Basically, your ability allows it to take all its energy for like a quick burst. So it super overcharges it temporarily. So it like takes all its natural energy, but that causes increases the abilities of said item, but it also breaks it, and it leaves it kind of temporary depowered for a while, even if it's not completely destroyed. You know,
For a little bit more power, can I just take the Gilded Lotus that we have and never use and just use that as a temporary power source?
the Gilded Lotus would work fine. The Gilded Lotus has an ability to naturally draw in a level of mana. So since it kind of functions like a black lotus, which it kind of recreates, is a plant which absorbs a large amount of mana, and that's why it's sought at for wizards, because it's a boost of basically magical energy that you can use. You can drain magic energy it stores. The Gilded Lotus is a recreation that's meant to be a kind of natural engine. It's not perfect.
No.
But yes.
But it's a start.
But certainly, yeah, you can add a little bit more pep to your step. And I think mostly that would be like you would have, like, you could activate like a booster almost at this point.
Yeah. Neat.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
And before I break anything else, I'll call it here.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm doing a lot of welding.
Yeah. So it's basically you've installed so you basically created like a turbo boost using the Lotus.
We interrupted Carrie with this spiel.
Yeah. Carrie was going to talk to people about the weird things she felt in the natural mana flows.
Well, I was just gonna offhand mention it to Kaz, and when he ignored me, I'd just be like, okay, I guess it's not important, and then go back to what I was doing.
I don't know if Kaz would have ignored you. Kaz would have effectively been like, this is important, we will talk about this. I have an arc welder in my hands, and I need to finish working with this first.
I don't know what an arc welder is, but sure.
Kesh has been there helping you. She has some expertise on shipbuilding and stuff like that, you know.
Especially flying ones.
Yeah. She knows a lot about ornithopters and stuff like that. She can take some of the techniques to that. She's actually helped craft, like, because it's not necessarily needs to be a sailing ship. She helped craft basically like almost like sailing wings for the Hellkite 2. So it's sort of got like, you know, like almost like it allows for better control on like, you know, turns using the wind and stuff and things like that, because you've got a little bit more 4-dimensional or 3-dimensional control, you know.
Also, it is important to point out, I know I said it's not a warship, I still do have cannons.
Yeah, you know,
They're not the, like, World Ender cannons that were on the Phyrexian warship that we found.
Yeah, you know.
These are just, like, effectively what I made for the, like, Uprising, like, the amped-up Force Ballista.
Yeah.
That's the shit we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to drop nukes.
Yeah.
For now.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So, a couple months will end, and the Hellkite 2 will be prepared. The ship is hovering in its bay at this point in time. Its wings and sails folded up, obviously, because it doesn't need them out all the time. The ship looks like an interesting... It's got, like... It doesn't quite have the sleek design of the Weatherlight, because the Weatherlight was designed to be a very unique ship. But the Weatherlight also kind of looks a little boat-like, too, and you kind of have a little bit of that boatness to this here, but you certainly went a little outside the box in some of your designs.
Oh, yeah. I did not keep the, like, crab claw silhouette of the Predator.
Mm-hmm.
I think it still has, like, a large prow,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe a slight overhang, but it is not to the severe extent, and it's much rounder rather than, like, the sharp angles.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because if I want to, you know, create the bubble that goes around it in order to, like, keep air in so I can survive the,
Kesh, because it still could build a pretty large ship. Kesh actually recommended two things for you to install: an area where it could be a bay for an ornithopter to take off and land.
Hell yeah.
And also recommended to create, for possible uses, an area to maybe hook in those submersibles.
Oh, yeah.
So you could, like, add one of those to the bottom of the ship and then, like, drop it off in the water.
Drop it in.
Yeah.
Where are we dropping, boys?
Mm-hmm. There aren't really big submersibles, but they're enough to, like, drop a few people in.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like, okay, we want to keep the ship away from the land or something. You park it up in the clouds. You drop the submersible in. You take.
Well, you probably, like, hover down to
the
the ocean, drop it, go back on the clouds, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then they come back and retrieve us.
Yeah.
That way, you don't have to actually take your ship into an area that could be, someone might try to steal it.
I probably have landing gear, right?
Generally speaking,
I think it's safer to land in water.
Yeah, it's probably set to land in water, but you could probably set something to try to land on ground. It's not going to be really effective.
Oh. I'm keeping this largely water to air.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you make it a flat bottom boat.
Yeah.
No, this is not a barge.
It's unfortunately not very easy to make ground landings for most flying vessels, even this, they just weren't necessarily designed for it as air boats kind of thing. Like the Phyrexian vessels, they probably were designed to land in places, but they honestly probably had, like, special bays to land in and things like that. Just like the Predator had, like, a special bay to, like, land in. It didn't have, like, I'll land anywhere. No, they just kind of floated there and, like, just bombarded shit if they needed to, or, like, drop ropes if they needed to get off. They weren't really great to their crew. I mean, like, honestly, Rathian Mog abuse, really high.
Yeah. Yeah.
When they say Mogs were harmed in the creation of this, oh, they were. Lots of them.
No Mogs were harmed in the creation of this.
Only it's built on the backs of 1,000 dead Mogs. Don't worry about it.
This one is only... I mean, I'm technically part Mog.
Yeah.
So am I.
Yeah.
Probably not related, but who knows? Because I don't know Goblin genealogy.
That'd be hilarious.
It would be, like, distant. Like,
oh, I know. I'm your great granduncle.
Look, I already have one jackass in my bloodline.
Two.
I don't need another.
Squeeze kind of a jackass.
Squeeze fine. I'm talking about the fucking... Oh, what's his name? What's his goddamn name? I wrote it down.
Well, there's also your brother.
Yeah, but he's cool.
Grell.
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
prick.
Growl.
Oh, I'm gonna kill him.
You say that a lot. Anyway,
And it
so
will.
as like you're christening the ship and talking about all the features on it, Carrie, you will feel honestly lightheaded.
Kaz, is there like a gas buildup in here? Cause feeling a bit out of it.
Do I have a gas buildup?
Not you can tell.
Please tell me I don't. That's like a huge problem.
Your lungs aren't currently filtering anything out, so probably no.
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming like with like magic lungs that filter stuff out, you can tell when they're working.
Yeah, there's like a really low whirring noise that you can hear.
Yeah, from your chest. What's that? That's my chest. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about that. It just means we're being poisoned, right? Well, you're being poisoned right now.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you just something feels off. You'll hear a voice in your head, though. Something strange is happening.
What?
It's Moldrath.
Oh, that's not good.
A massive amount of energy is being drained directly from the ley lines.
Hey, Kaz, we have a problem. We have a really big problem.
Okay, how big is a really big problem?
Something draining mana through ley lines.
That sounds like a really big problem.
Yeah, it does. Big enough that Moldrath is directly contacting me.
It would be comparable to the time you encountered the great beast from your memories.
Hey, do Cole and Claude happen to be back? Do you
Yes.
know?
Mm-hmm.
They're
Right.
probably not like here right now because probably like they've been busy and they've been back doing
I'm
some
like
stuff.
just back.
Yeah, and so like
Same here.
yeah, because they've been through a lot of adventures, kind of like just mediocre adventures, but adventures on their own. So like you're finishing up, you brought Carrion, you, Kesh, and Carrie are like gushing over this, like you're gushing over this. The two of you are gushing over this thing to Carrie, like because of course Carrie's the one that's been hanging around. You're the first one that you're going to introduce to everything here.
Oh, Carrie would be the first one to introduce anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also the one that probably did a lot of the heavy lifting.
I'm not entirely weak, but also, yes, you did a lot of the heavy lifting.
And also I indulged them. Hey, Kaz, do you want to go grab one of them? I'll grab the other. Because this seems like a really big thing.
Okay, no, yes, it does sound like a really big bad thing, and we should fix this.
You think you could track it back with Moldrath's expertise, basically. It's less like that she would travel with you, and more that she can you can tell using her knowledge where the ley lines are, where the energy's going through the ley lines, basically. So, you can certainly grab the other two. Tell them something big's going on.
Pretty much just like, hey,
Yeah.
something is draining mana through the ley lines, and Moldrath would like us to check it out, which seems like it's a really bad thing. Can you come with us, please?
Sure.
It's a little fucked up, yeah.
We're shipping out. Get on
By the
board.
way, the Vesuvians say hello.
Hello.
They're-
I haven't slept in 2 weeks.
Do you
And
even
they-
get much sleep anymore? You're like 90% mechanical.
I'm at best 10% right now. I just built an entire ship with only one arm. I'm doing pretty good.
You had 3 arms.
I did have additional arms.
Technically, you had 5. I did the heavy lifting.
I don't have an arm. I did a lot of the hard welding work.
Kaz, even if you had 2 arms, I'm still stronger than you.
I know, but you don't know how to weld.
You could teach me. I'm smart
It's true.
and fire resistant.
Also true.
Anyway, let's go figure out what the fuck's going on with this ley line.
Okay, you can take off in the Hellkite too. Following the energy, you can sense that the drain is fairly massive. Whatever's going on, it is a lot of energy being drained from, honestly, could be called the nearby area. It seems to be coming across from, like, it's draining Urborg. You're not sure where else it's draining, but certainly coming from here. And the ley lines have passed through Urborg. It'll take a little while, but of course you're in a sky ship, so traveling is much faster. And honestly, you can get a little boost out of like things like the Gilded Lotus and stuff to rush off a little faster than like the ship normally would travel towards the direction as the the Hellkite 2's maiden voyage begins.
Cash, you still have the candelabra, right? Or what's left of it?
Why?
Well, I know that drains mana.
It can. It's very broken, and I have been otherwise occupied, but yes, I have it.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it didn't fall into someone else's hands.
It's been kind of nuked twice now.
Yeah,
it's in bad shape.
Yeah, look, even if someone else did have it, there's fuck all they could do with it.
It's like probably sort of usable, but like honestly, like you did some pretty big things with it.
It might
twice.
explode.
It might just burst.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I tried to do anything with it, it might just.
Yeah. Anyway,
it was ancient when I got it.
It was an ancient artifact of interesting ability that you have used usefully twice. A little bit more than is normally in its wheelhouse of usage, but you know, hey, happens. The trail will take you north, across to the oceans to the north of Urborg. And eventually in the distance, you'll see what appears to be a massive whirlpool.
Oh.
The whirlpool itself seems to be maybe a mile across.
Well, that could be a problem.
Agreed.
Why is there a world?
It's an excellent question.
Aren't you like the ocean guy? Oh,
Wouldn't
you're
you
not
like
really
to know?
ocean.
You will hear a noise as Kesh will collapse.
Oh. I'll go
That's
and
not
pick
good.
I'll go pick Kesh up.
She seems out of it. Something seems off with her.
Didn't I cast Identify on her once?
No.
No?
Because I think you wanted kind of permission, and she was just like kind of
That's
like
right.
a probably shouldn't kind of thing.
Yeah, but I had done something to like...
You did investigate some basic
Oh, I
ideas.
did
first.
detect Artifice.
You did, so you had a basic idea of like what a lot of her systems would do.
Yeah.
She does have a very large percentage of her body, like probably like 70-80% of her body has been replaced by mechanical systems.
Yes.
I'm gonna look at the whirlpool and see, is there any magic coming off of it?
Well, yes and no.
Or does it seem like a black hole of magic?
Like Carrie, you can tell this is where all the mana is being drained into. Whatever's down at the base of the whirlpool is draining all the mana into it. So certainly, it seems to be a massive mana sink at this point in time.
Kaz, does your eye see anything special?
Does my monocle see anything special?
Yeah, this is like interesting because it's like there is a massive form of mana down there, and it's coming towards the surface. You're deep ocean here. Something is rising from the depths.
Something's coming up. Okay, everyone brace. Just be ready in case things happen.
Maybe they're not evil.
Should we prepare the cannons?
Cole probably doesn't see any of this because he's probably gone full parent mode and is getting Kesh to a bed.
Good.
Valid.
Should we prepare the cannons?
Oh, they're already prepared. They're always prepared. I'd forgot to warn the Weatherlight that I was doing this. So they might just show up. Because airship. I didn't warn them. So the cannons are ready.
Okay.
Not because I'm going to fire on the Weatherlight, but to defend myself.
Cole has the ball to talk to... Wait, who has the ball to talk to...
Because I went on adventures between continents, I would have probably given it to someone else.
Kaz was busy, so Carrion might have it.
I was gonna say who trusts Carrion with objects, and then I remember that I'm actually somewhat responsible now.
Yeah.
Carrie, do you want to do the honors? This might be a time to notify Nim.
Hey, Nim, we have a problem. Nim, please answer.
Please, not your answering machine.
Don't
Yes.
send me to
Yes, I'm aware there's some kind of issue going on.
Okay,
What do you have
good.
on your end?
A massive whirlpool and something coming up from it. Also, it's draining mana from the ley lines.
I've been able to tell that there's a mana drain going across all of Dominaria. It's a lot more subtle. It must be a lot more powerful in your region.
Yeah, it might be centered here because Rath and I felt it a while ago.
It's big. It's massive.
It's not good.
We are directly... Well, not directly. We are above it and observing it.
Why don't you point the globe at it so he can see?
Oh yeah, basically selfie. I'm literally doing a selfie fucking thing. So he can see me and the thing. And the whirlpool.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I've never seen anything like this.
It is interesting. Dangerous. Dangerous things can be interesting. I mean, look at you, Kaz.
It's true. It's true.
Is there,
Oh, and Kesh collapsed. I don't know if it drains mana from her or what.
Theoretically, has anything else in your possession had effects on its mana?
Kaz, you have a lot of objects.
I do. Any of them being fucky?
No.
Alright. Honestly, if something were to react, it'd probably be the airship, right?
Yes. It does not seem to be doing anything.
Airship remains functional. The rest of the artifice I have around is fine. I'm still breathing.
So it must not be related to that. Interesting. I'm not sure what it could be. Honestly, something of this scale, it's different from what we felt before. The amount of mana being drained, it's mind-boggling. Normally, I assume whatever's going on, it's the mana levels are being forced up to this level. Effectively, someone's speeding up a process. Or doing something massive, quickly. Most times that I would need this level of, even close to this level of mana, I would have rituals that would take weeks, months, to draw it very effectively, without causing damage to the nearby system. Someone is obviously drawing in this energy quite quickly, and it's not easy even for someone of my caliber, for a single wizard to do it. Maybe a group of wizards is causing, or spellcasters is doing this, or something else.
Like a group of dickhead Phyrexians?
I don't know. Maybe. But
No. Group of people using Phyrexian technology, not technically Phyrexians.
One of them like half Phyrexian? At least the angel thing.
Complicated.
Yeah.
I don't get paid enough to think about it.
You get paid?
No, that's why I said I don't get paid enough.
I get paid.
Anyway, Nim, what do you want us to do about the giant fucking whirlpool?
Observe it for now. Don't do anything rash. I'll contact the Weatherlight. Let them know what's going on. They might be able to come to assist you. I don't know if they have time to arrive.
Please warn them about the airship. I did not.
You're on an airship?
A functioning one.
Ah, you did finally build one.
Of course. I
Interesting.
adjusted the engine and fuel lines. It doesn't shoot out, toxic waste anymore.
Excellent. I'll start contacting who I can.
If something big comes out, should we fight it or run away?
Use
Also,
your
it's not really
judge-
an if, it's more of a when, because
Use
it
your-
is coming.
Use your judgment on this one. I would not recommend getting into a fight you do not think you can win.
Nim, with all due respect towards us, trusting our judgment has never been a strong suit.
Then for now,
Good
perhaps
judgment.
observe and retreat when you've made proper observations of whatever it is, to contact the rest.
I'm going to make sure people evacuate from the area.
Oh,
I
that's a
think we're
good
in the
idea.
middle.
We should do
Aren't
that.
we in the middle of the ocean right now?
You are in the middle of the ocean. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out for boats.
you could probably, warn boats that are approaching the area, because, again, a mile-long, mile-wide whirlpool is not always noticeable because it's on ocean level,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be directing people. It'll be funny.
Guys, if you don't have a problem, I'm going to see if anyone in my head has any ideas on what this is.
You don't do anything bad.
How's Claude's hand?
I think it's back to normal by
It's
now.
back to normal. It was
I can
only
shut him out when I want to.
Okay.
sort of.
Well, to a point. I mean, he's always listening.
He's always there, just,
I won't make any decisions or let anyone take over. I just want to get a consensus. They're all always listening and seeing. Maybe one of them might have an idea what this could be.
Okay. I'll tell you, the voices you can hear, very few of them have any idea what's going on, honestly. The only one that is surprisingly quiet is Vesh.
Yeah.
He doesn't say anything. He just seems to be... perhaps
Taking it in.
Yeah.
I figured it was worth a shot since, I have many different people who have knowledge in my head. Might as well try to use it.
So Cole, since you're with Kesh, you will notice that she seems to be muttering something in a language you can't understand.
Okay.
She seems to be kind of... you can tell that she seems to be saying some things. There seems to be some things that are being repeated. And you'll notice across her artificial eye, it seems to be covered in symbols that seems to be running across it.
Right. Okay, I will go and get... Honestly,
You know, two of us have
probably
comprehend
will
languages.
bring, Claud and Carrion.
Kaz does also technically speak this.
But
Under
you-
my languages, I have old written.
Cole thinks she might
After I
be...
no longer have that because I'm a druid.
Oh, true.
Well, I have it.
I'll go and just alert the party of this weirdness. Because Cole's an idiot. He doesn't understand magic technology.
I could probably identify the symbols.
Our magic.
I could understand the language.
I could be emotional support.
Kesh kind of probably needs all of that, so we need to go.
Yeah. The words she seems to be speaking, from those of you that can comprehend languages, Kaz, since you have an idea of some older languages and stuff like that, certainly you can get an idea that she seems to be mumbling things that seem to be places, locations, things. It's like she's listing off a bunch of stuff and like giving information about these things.
Can I make a knowledge history check?
Sure.
I'm also going to make a history check.
Okay.
Why not?
We're all a bunch of fucking nerds.
It's a party of nerds.
Well, mostly nerds.
So, Carrie, this is certainly outside of your expertise, I have to say. The whatever she seems to be going on about. But, like, you have some general idea. It seems to be... She seems to be listing locations, maybe rooms, places. Some of them, like, you've heard in, like, talks of, like, ruins, like, old ruins might have them. And some of them sound like places that might be in, like, living quarters, probably. Like, a place that people would live. There does seem to be a distinct, maybe, military focus on a lot of these places, too. But also living quarters. So it could just be, like, things... It's hard to tell where it would be. Like, you could say, like, oh, well, there does seem to be, right now, at least, a focus on some military-based things, like, like, training areas or something like that. You think, like, that sounds like a type of training area. But that one also sounds like a place you'd, like, a version of, like, a bar or something, something, like, akin to a bar. But, like, a fancy version of it, So it's, like, could be something else related. Claude, the language across her eye, it's gobbledygook. You can kind of translate that, like, but you can tell, like, there doesn't seem to be a pattern to it that you can understand. It might be, honestly, like,
Artifice.
I want to use, there's a word I want to use, and I don't know if it's the appropriate word. Like, a cipher or something. Or maybe, like, something like, something like that,
Gotcha.
So sort of like...
coded.
Yeah, it's like coded. There you go. That's the word I wanted to use.
Yeah.
It's some kind of code.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
As you're kind of, like, looking at her and trying to, like, figure this out, the ship will rock as a shockwave will seemingly emerge from the whirlpool. The skies are going to begin to darken, as it seems like some kind of storm is forming, and lightning and winds and rain are kind of beginning to pelt down.
I built the ship to weather any storm.
Mm-hmm. Another shockwave will kind of, like, hit the ship and kind of rock it. It seems like it's just like you feeling these waves of pressure or energy.
Hey, Tantus?
Sure. What's up?
I'm an idiot.
Okay.
I'm going to detect her surface thoughts.
Her surface thoughts are the exact same thing. It seems like she is not conscious right now.
Okay.
Whatever is going on, this is the level of consciousness she's at.
I mean, I could try to probe deeper. But I also don't know if that might harm her at this point or not.
Up to you.
Let me just see some things.
Ah.
I'm going to go outside just to keep an eye on things.
I also will do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to probe.
All right.
See if I can get anything more.
Give me a wisdom save, then.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
a really good save. Good
Yes.
for you. Okay. As you probe deeper, you get a feeling whatever you're tapping into is not her mind, but something else. Maybe something that's connecting with her mind. Perhaps that's something that's overwhelming her. You just are, like, getting, like... It's voices without a voice. It's almost like these echoes of voices, but you can't really, like, understand because they don't actually have a voice. And it's, like, thousands of them upon thousands of them that seem to be saying, like, all this different stuff. And
Does this sound something like how the slivers?
no.
Okay. Sorry, just when you're like voices with voices.
No.
And
This
that's
is
the
this is
first thing
very
that-
different. This is very... Everything is dry. Dry is the best way to describe it. You sense that whatever you tapped into is... It's a mind far beyond anything. I wouldn't say more powerful, but different.
Alien.
Something alien to anything you've encountered before. You get the sense that you're keeping yourself in check, though, while you're doing this, while you're probing deep into this. This doesn't have defenses against your magic, but you also get the feeling that your magic's not normally compatible with this. You're using Kesh as a vessel to basically, like, because she's compatible with your magic, to tap into whatever this is. This is, like, it's something completely different than anything you think you could tap into, even with just your magic.
Right.
A mind so alien to yours. It seems to be like it's reviewing information. It's just going down lists of thousands upon thousands of things and checking them and triple checking them, like double checking them, triple checking them, kind of discussing information. Just completely over and over. And some of it just is, the words sound like words, but you can't quite understand what they're talking about. Like, there's the stuff that she's been repeating. There's parts of this that, like, it sounds like the coded language you saw. You know, that is almost thinking this in the code.
Okay. I'll break contact. Did everyone leave the room?
I don't know about... Carrie's the only one I don't know about.
I'm still here.
Yeah, so it's Carrie's still there. The other two went to deck.
Carrie?
Eh?
There is some kind of alien intelligence that is affecting her mind. I was able to hear it. I don't quite understand it, and I don't think I would have been able to detect its thoughts directly. I think it only worked because I could use my magic on her. I think I might have an idea to try to see if I can help her snap out. I don't know how this might work.
Stay your hand, son. Your efforts may cause more damage than you wish.
The book.
Hold on, Carrie. Someone's trying to talk to me. What do you know of this?
A guess. What do you know about this young girl? She's quite fascinating. It's unfortunate that you can't analyze her. Her body is very similar to my own original. part organic, part mechanical. Hers was more of a forced upgrade. Well, I guess technically mine was too, but I don't remember that part.
She is quite ancient.
Yes.
Technology far from the past.
Things that were lost or evolved.
Yes. I'm sure you know how we found her.
Yes, I'm aware.
And I'm sure you know about the Ranians.
Of course. Who do you think we were?
Yes. So...
Phyrexia was what remains of Theran. Evolved, improved. Our great Lord and God, may he ever rest in peace, was of course a great Theranian man who sought to evolve the Empire on Dominaria, but was driven out for his views. Sent to the dark home that became our seat of power. I myself, perhaps not as ancient, but still old, and was assigned to the quaint little demi-plane of Rath to work under, well, management that was elected, created for such a job. There were a number of us that went there.
So do you think this intelligence is from the Theranian times?
I suspect it's connected something to that. Whatever it is, it's compatible with her Theranian side, her technological side. You technically have a little piece of Phyrexia in you. As for when you assimilated my form, you assimilated my mechanical parts as well as my biological. All of it was absorbed. It was the nature of your being to be able to absorb both. Not as easy on the non-biological materials, but I'm sure given enough time you can absorb anything. Forceful as it is. Especially since my components were made to be compatible with the biological. The thing is, those components which exist in with you in some form do not sense whatever this is.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Do not sense whatever this is. Perhaps it's not compatible with me. Could it mean it's older? Or maybe something else? I don't know. But I suspect it is related to Theran in some way. Or at very least, highly compatible with whatever Theran is.
Could be Theranian technology that evolved in a different way.
Perhaps. I do not know.
I think I need to talk to Kaz. I'm going to say that to you, Carrie. I'm going to go back out on deck and try to find Kaz.
Alright, the game will continue to rock. The ship will continue to rock as more waves will kind of come out. As you kind of move out onto deck, Kaz, you and Cole begin to observe something going on. There seems to be culmination at the heart of the whirlpool. The lightning, which has begun to fall down, seems to all now be actually being pulled into the center of this whirlpool.
Fascinating, horrifying, and unpleasant.
I think it's an elemental.
As soon as I'm within 60 feet of Kaz, I'm going to start talking to him mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Kaz,
Fuck. What?
I believe this is some kind of artifice. That's Theranian, possibly in nature. That's why it has been able to hijack her.
Can I sense and analyze Artifice?
It's the range is probably you're out of it.
if I use a telescope?
I don't think that increases your range. You're good at, like, looking at something and telling what it is up close and personal.
Yeah.
Whatever this is far away enough at this point in time.
I was able to connect to her mind.
Okay.
And kind of connect to whatever this thing is, but it's completely alien in thought. I don't think I would have been able to do this directly to it. Using her as a conduit made it possible for me to even tap into what was going on. Also, Vesh believes that it is some type of technology that could either be Thuranian or Phyrexian or something similar in nature.
Great.
Because I was going to try to attempt to wake her up, but Vesh said it might actually do more harm.
All right. Obviously I can't get directly over. There's a lot of lightning going on.
Yeah.
But can I try to adjust, like, an angle to try to see further into the whirlpool?
Sure. You can kind of get a little, like, closer to get a better angle, like, you know, skirt around parts of the storm and stuff.
Yeah.
Certainly the lightning does not seem to be attracted to you, and that's fortunate. Something is emerging. Some kind of invisibleness that the lightning seems to be hitting into. You can't tell what it is. It just seems like something is coming out that seems almost invisible, that the lightning is kind of impacting into and spreading through. So lightning is no longer hitting the center of the whirlpool. It still seems to be drawn in.
You say I can't see it. However, I do have see invisibility.
Okay. There's something there. You can kind of see it. It's almost like this... a force barrier.
Ah!
Whatever this is also is massive.
We talking, like, Dragon Engine?
Yes. Maybe bigger.
Bigger? Okay. That what you did for me just confirmed to me that my fuck up isn't coming back to bite us in the ass. Again, not a fuck up, but that's how you guys refer to it. So I'm using your language.
The sky continues to darken as a strange shape begins to emerge.
Cole?
Yes?
I know you can't do another storm, which we wouldn't want anyway, but I know you can control weather to a point. Can you lessen this at all?
Does the storm feel natural?
No.
No, the storm does not feel natural. Normally, when there's a storm like this, I can feel it coursing through me as a conduit. I feel nothing.
This is more the storm is being caused by a massive disruption of the natural energy in the area. Like, whatever this is that is drawing in a lot of mana, it's probably bleeding a bunch out in the nearby area to a degree, and it's disrupting the weather patterns.
It's like a black hole with Hawking radiation.
Yeah.
That's a really cool reference that actually kind of works.
There's nothing I can do to stop this.
I broke the candelabra, so that can't be used here. Also, I don't think it would do anything.
No, especially after I broke it the first time.
You broke it the first time, and then I broke it. And even if it was in full working order, I don't think it's powerful enough to make us an ounce.
I cannot absorb that much electricity and survive.
I think we might want to back up.
I think we should.
I don't know about leaving completely, but maybe backing up to keep observing.
We should retreat to a safe distance.
safe distance.
You'll back up a little bit as whatever this is begins to emerge from the water. A massive structure. Strange towers that almost seem smooth and of strange design. Kaz, you very easily recognize there's something Thranian about this all. This entire thing, it's kind of got this almost kind of like a spherical shell crowned by these strange towers. Then kind of it breaks down into the middle, where you can see what looks to be emerging from the water, a massive almost kind of like cityscape in the kind of center, kind of ringing around a central shaft leading to like a bottom. So it's like two halves of a sphere with like a cylinder in the middle, and surrounding that cylinder on it is like this, almost like a gigantic city.
This is Carrion.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go back to the room that Carrion her in.
Carrion, Kesh has woken up in the meantime and has asked you to bring her to the surface. To the deck. So the two of you could run into them. She is seemingly still in kind of a bad shape, but is at least seemingly awake. She's kind of holding her head. She's kind of like leaning on Carrie, holding her head with one hand, as like it looks as though like there's still things going wrong with her biomechanical systems.
I'm sorry, my Discord almost crashed there, so I missed all of that.
You brought Kesh to the deck.
Cool.
And I'm running into them.
Yeah.
Kesh, are you okay?
Probably not. I'm sorry. Something's awakened that should have been destroyed long ago. I didn't know it was hidden here at the bottom of the ocean.
I sensed that. I was in your mind.
It's the Sky Forces Castilion, capital of the Fenion Defense Forces.
Can I make a history check on that?
Yes.
Can I make a history check on
Yes.
that? Since I did archaeology and Thranian research, can I have advantage?
I will give you advantage on this.
Woo!
Because I like to be included.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Carrie,
Jesus Christ!
this is like
Carrie has
this is
absorbed
this is like
Kazzrann.
Kaz. You're like trying to think through it, but you're not remembering right now. You like for Kaz, the thing you will know is Thran was known for having a number of flying cities and citadels in which to defend, and Fenion is one of the city-states of Thran. Thran had 8 city-states which ruled over it. Each one had their own territories and stuff, and they worked together fairly well until the Great Civil War and all that stuff that happened. Fenion, though not the capital of all of Thran, was the oldest and most well developed. And Carrie, you will remember. I'll just put this into chat so you can see it. You will remember that Fenion was one of the city-states that remained relatively neutral during the Civil War until the last ends of it, where it itself broke apart. And the reason it was able to remain that way is it had a number of sky fortresses. Basically gigantic flying power machines that could, reign control over it. They functioned as both massive military cities and, of course, massive military engines. So that thing has like a small metropolis around its outer band. And then the towers in the bottom and top are filled with probably countless various weapons. How many of them are still functioning? You have no idea. But also, you're figuring it's actually surrounded by some kind of energy field that is protecting it. That's what you were seeing impacting the lightning into. As it now has awoken, it's beginning to float in the air.
Bad.
Nim,
Oh, yes, very much so.
Hey, Nim, we've got a problem.
What is it? Another giant dragon? Some form of monster?
Cole just grabs the orbs and points it.
What the hell is that thing?
That's the Thrannian capital.
Threatening capital ship.
Capital ship.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
Yeah. Effectively, like, think of it like a massive combined, like, weapons bay / like, aircraft carrier kind of thing. It would probably be the center of, like, a massive military force.
Yeah.
This one, as far as you know, is probably... Yeah, this was... There probably was smaller sky fortresses. This was probably the largest one created.
It's a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, it's a Star Destroyer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
We're in Star Wars now. I already built my spaceship, so I'm all set.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going spell jamming?
Obviously, we're going.
Anyway, with the what the hell's at that, let's take our break, because the Thrannian Sky Fortress has awoken. So
This is bad for us.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Do we level up now that we finished Urborg?
You will be leveling up at the end of the session.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna arm.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna arm.
I mean, that's
arm myself.
probably good to have when figuring out what to do about this.
Who needs... Where we're going, you don't need arms.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, if you need a snack, drink, or bathroom break, go ahead and get them, as, we'll be back in a little bit to figure out what the hell's going on here.
Yeah.
Boop, boop, and boop. Hi, welcome back, everybody. So, a gigantic sky fortress has awakened and is beginning to, arise from the ocean and begin to basically, hover in the sky. Nim is awestruck by, what the hell is this thing? What do you want to do?
Okay. Thrannian.
Yes, I guess that's a word.
Cash. Recommendations?
It's outside my area of expertise.
Okay.
I don't think we should engage that.
No, I don't think we should engage that. Here's the problem where my head is at. We do in fact know someone whose area of expertise this is. And here's the problem. We hate him.
Who do you know?
Okay, so he's really old and he lived in the basement of a really fucked up house that we bought.
God.
And he had special interests in Thrannian technology and restoring what he considered like a Thrannian glory, I think. I don't know, he had thoughts and I didn't care for them. He also spent a lot of time in submarines scouring the seafloor, so if anyone knew this existed, it would have been him.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a break-in at your manor and stuff was stolen from it.
Yeah.
No.
This is almost definitely those new Phyrexians assholes, yeah.
Look, I could rally probably over half the plane against this thing myself. I don't think that would really do anything to help.
I can
We
get
need information.
one Kraken. One young Kraken.
I don't know if a Kraken will help in a specific instance, however we should keep that in mind.
Okay.
Especially since this is a flying fortress.
Let's go to...
Withdraw for now.
Yes.
Yes.
I think we should go to the Tolarian Academy.
I'll be meeting there. I'll be summoning the Weatherlight there, too. We're going to have a
Cool.
meeting.
We're going home, assholes.
I am home.
Aw.
We're going to the property we...
Urborg is where I was born.
We go to the Well, we're not in Urborg.
Yeah, we're not in Urborg anymore. We're in the middle of the ocean.
This could count as Urborg airspace technically to a degree. I mean,
you live in the ocean.
It's the ocean north of Urborg.
Yeah.
Like if Urborg actually had a functioning naval fleet, they probably could patrol this area. It's just Urborg doesn't have like a really decent central government, so they don't.
Working
really
on that one.
Just undead walking on the bottom of the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes, like in Pirates of the Caribbean.
True.
Also, there's the fact that Muldratha wanted me to come here, so technically this is part of her thing, so that's technically part of me too, so fuck off.
Alright, fine, whatever. We're going back to the house that we have.
Yes, we're going back to the
shitty
property
house
that we own.
Ooh,
Hey, we can visit a zoo.
We don't have time.
Okay. Quickly and efficiently, you can make your way back to the main campus of the Teifling Academy. Arriving there, you will see that a seemingly council of individuals has already been summoned and prepared. Of course, the dean of the academy is there, as you're kind of coming in. Joyra is there. You will see Tefri there. Nim is there. And a few other individuals.
Is that dipshit Joda there?
Joda's there too. Like
he doesn't want to be.
He doesn't want to be, but he's probably been dragged here because honestly, he's probably the oldest person and has more expertise. He was technically born in the Dark Ages that formed after the fall of Thran, so he does have knowledge of that kind of thing.
Now, he only wanted me to interrupt him if it was a world-ending threat.
Yeah, that's why he's here.
Sucks, dude. You gave me qualifications and I used them.
Thank you for
all right.
So, how much do we know about this thing? Kesh is going to speak up as the one person that might know about it. I know a few things about it. The Skyfortress Castilion, I was already asleep by the time it would have been destroyed or lost. But as far as I know, Fenion had remained neutral even when the tensions were arriving amongst the Thranian Empire and the threat of civil war was coming. It was the one city-state that wanted to see what the other sides were doing. They, even by not being the technical controllers, their status as the oldest of the city-states meant that they also had some of the strongest militaries. Of all the sky fortresses that were created, theirs was the greatest and most powerful. I don't know of any threat that could actually hold against it. I don't even know if it actually ever went into military action. It may have never fought anything. It may have just been sunk to the bottom of the ocean during the war for reasons. Honestly, it could have been sabotaged and sunk. It could have been damaged, and whoever's brought it back could have repaired it. I don't know.
Oh, it's definitely that one. A lot of artifacts of Thrannian and Phyrexian nature was stolen from our house by these assholes that we know about. It is my opinion that they are the same people who restored this. That's why they wanted the fucking heart gear, so that they could use the engines from the Predator for this horse shit.
The engines of a Phyrexian vessel, especially one like the Predator, might have been very useful. The Predator's engines were less destructive and more probably closer to ancient Thrannian designs. Realizing and understanding that might have been very critical in understanding the engines for this thing.
Well, sucks. I still have the heart gear, and now I have the engines. So they're not getting that. They must have jury-rigged something else.
Perhaps they found a different way to fix them and repair them, a different route. Regardless, it does seem as though if these are indeed the people that you were opposing to, they have shown their military force, and it is great. So far, they haven't done anything with it. and technically one capital ship does not make an army. Certainly, it could do a lot of damage. But even something of that degree and danger is not enough to conquer a world, nay, to control it either. So, the question is, what do they plan to do with such a show of force?
Hey, that, Chance, that one dude with the really shit name. Really shit fake name.
Yes.
Talked to me and basically told me his entire plan, didn't you?
He did.
Yeah, I'm gonna repeat that.
So, it seems as though they've made the decision that they want to control the world from the shadows, in a way. The shadows, that's probably not the exact term. They want to control the world from the background, guide it. So show of power like this would be useful. Non-direct conquest, it means that if anybody would oppose their influence, they could use it. And show off the fact that they could destroy one city, or one village, or one group of people. That might just gain the influence they need. Certainly I see them being able to use this power in such a way, as dangerous it is, but it does mean that if they choose to use it in that way, they could get their wish. To conquer the world without actually conquering it. If they are long-lived, that means they could spread their influence. Most species don't live that long in this world, save for such groups as elves and some of the others. It means that the course of human history, dwarves, kobolds, and many others could be easily influenced by this group. They could reforge the world as they'd want it.
Unless we stop them, of course. That's like the unsaid part, right?
As much as I understand them, I also do disagree with this. This power is something that should not have been reawoken. It's obviously that it was lost, and there must have been a reason for not rebuilding it. I can see the Phyrexians ignoring it. Perhaps even their forces weren't aware that it was salvageable. If Fenian's neutrality was as honest as you say, Yawgmoth's Thoranian forces back during the Civil War could have had less information on what happened to it. They would have perhaps assumed it was destroyed or lost in such a way that they couldn't recover it. And besides, it is seemingly less agile and destructive than a fleet of their ships. No need to rebuild something like this when they have just bombs that could just wipe out entire cities with one smaller ship. So, we understand why it was left behind. Still, that leaves the issue that it was left behind. How much of a crew do you think would be needed to control something like that? Kesh is going to kind of go, a ship like that would have had tens of thousands aboard it, but I think to control it, to crew it, you might only need a few hundred. There are lifts and trams in place that allow quick travel between a lot of systems and places, and honestly, there are probably thousands of constructs in there that function as repair units or defensive units.
I was gonna say slivers and constructs.
Yes, and if they had things like that, then they don't need a huge force to control it. They just need a small force to be in the main bridge and use a lot of the automated systems, especially if they've repaired them.
Oh. This sucks.
There is something, the Dean will speak up. There is something else that we detected, though. When it woke up, there was a number of items that we had that seemed Phyrexian in nature that, from our collection that remained for study, that did react to it. Not everything, but a few pieces did react. And we were able to detect the signal that was being sent out from there. We were able to detect a secondary signal.
What's the secondary?
We don't know. But it seemed that there's a signal that was being broadcast originally from somewhere in Northland.
North?
Yes. The frozen wastes.
Great.
Okay, don't bring it up.
Joyra will mention. I took a look at the signal. It wasn't in the direction where your friend went to. So
Good.
I don't think it's
okay.
there.
Good.
At least there's that.
Every time. Okay.
The signal
Not
seemed to be
bad.
very close to the northern pole.
Nim, you were up north very recently. Do you have any possible ideas?
I wasn't that far that north. I'm gonna roll something here. I'm just gonna roll this. Flash, roll 1d20. Okay. Just check something.
That's low.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't want to, but can we consider the idea of approaching Dolmar Duel?
Dolmar has been a mixed bag of helpful.
Yeah. Well, he's insane, so that makes sense.
I don't know if he'd be willing to share any information with his current imprisonment. And as dangerous
likes-
as this is, he could be considered on a similar level. He has a intricate knowledge of both Thuranian and Phyrexian technologies, and mixing and matching them, along with a lot of...
You're cutting in and out a decent amount.
I'm cutting
Yeah.
a decent amount? That's kind of weird. Okay. Seems
Now
like a
you're
fun-
better again.
Whatever. I'm not detecting it on stream or something, and I'm not getting any drop frames or anything, so I don't know. Must be something Discordy. Discord, I'll blame. Anyway.
Discord!
Discord.
Howling at the moon.
He has a massive amount of expertise on a variety of very dangerous subjects. Effectively, with his knowledge, he could engineer any of a half a dozen devices that would be very similar to the genocidal devices that Phyrexians developed. He is as dangerous as that thing up there. I would not want to free him.
Well,
No, obviously not free him. Oh my god, no.
no, that seems like a terrible idea.
No,
However,
that'd
if
be
you
bad.
need me to, I can beat the information out of him until he's vomiting it all over the floor.
He can't vomit. I don't think he has the parts necessary to do that.
Well, that's even better.
No, he can turn off pain. Like, I've replaced my lungs. Going to replace the arm. Cash has gone through a significant amount of prosthetication. He's full body. There's very little organic left. As much fun as it would be to beat the shit out of him, I don't think we'd get anything. I, again, don't like the idea, but I felt it should be stated. Could we, again, possibly a bad idea, but spitballing, reach out to the dragon engine that we awoke, all of us collectively?
Perhaps you could, but would you think you'd be able to negotiate with it again?
I don't know. We also had some other meeting with an elder dragon, but he never showed up. Who knows?
This signal, do you know where it exactly is?
She can give you a general idea where it is. It's like pointing out on the map. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to tell exactly where it is, but we know that it came from around this area near the North Pole.
I heard like a third of that.
That's weird. I lean back. I'll lean forward just in case, because apparently, like, I'm being picked up, but not picked up.
Check your mic settings on Discord.
Yeah, the sensitivity might be weird.
It could have reset this. Let me check this quickly then. What's the video? I have it set to automatically determine input sensitivity.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
do that.
bad.
Oh, okay. What should I have it on then?
Turn that off and then just move it a little bit to the left.
I have mine. Let me do that. I have mine on like a third of the way over, kind of.
Mine is at 58 decibels.
Mine's at about 65.
I'll put it down to 65 because I was at 60. That might help.
Okay. Yeah.
Honestly, I think I had done this before, but Discord resets my settings
like,
so many times, like randomly.
Oh yeah.
It does.
My full microphone setup just switched over a while ago.
Yeah, it does it to me every time this shit updates.
It's like sometimes it'll be like, what microphone is it on? That's not the correct mic. Actually, let me check what microphone it's on too.
The mic quality sounds fine.
The mic quality.
It's on the correct microphone, but sometimes it has switched microphones randomly, with me not even unplugging or plugging in the microphone. It's just like, I want to do that microphone instead. I'm like,
yeah, which would
why?
make sense, if you were leaning back and it's cutting out, but
Yeah.
Anyway,
Who knows?
I had asked about where the.
it was in. They have a general region near the North Pole.
This might be worth checking out.
Oh,
we have time.
okay.
Kesh will be like, I think there were a couple of like research stations or small fortifications up in the north, but that were Theranian. One of them could have be still around and become active. There might be something there that could be helpful. There might not be.
Well, it might be worth checking if we have the time.
That's the question. Do we have the time?
Joy would be like, currently the ship seems to just be floating there. We've got a number of observers checking it out, messaging back to us if anything happens. They haven't announced themselves. This is an announcement, though. This is very obvious.
Oh, it's a threat.
Yeah, but they should have known that Cole would have told us this, meaning that the information Cole has said should be spread to many of the governments, especially because you are an important part of the Urborg government. Certainly that means that connecting with you would be a great way to spread to the world what their plan was. They don't need to do anything. They've said their announcement. They're waiting to see what we do in reaction to it.
What if we don't tell them what Cole has told us?
The world.
Yeah, that's a bad idea, isn't it?
There's be a lot of panic, random ideas. Various empires might try crazy things. You going to say something, Cole?
My duty is to uphold and defend the sovereignty of Urborg. This is a threat to that. It is my duty to try to rally my people forward.
A voice will kind of speak up and be like, I do not think war is what is needed at this point in time. But I agree we should be ready for it. I can rally some forces from New Argive to assist you if necessary. But we do not have any sky. There are very few sky vessels, and none of a size that seems to be able to oppose it.
I could rally many nations against this, but I could not get forces up there.
I can reach out to my father to try to get a reaction from Shiv.
Reaction from Shiv would be good. Nonetheless, the idea that it's a floating sky fortress is our most dangerous thing. Currently, there are 2 functioning skyships that have any sort of strength against it, and neither are warship enough to fight that thing.
It would not be wise to bring the weatherlight near it. If the angel sets foot on it, there's no telling what could happen.
I worry about Joy would be like, I worry about our power source. As much as it is both secret, I'm sure anybody that has any knowledge will understand what it is, because the power source has not changed very much since the ancient days. There's still the same sky stones that were already used. Just they ended up rightfully in Saurian hands. That kind of power source could be used with something of that scale. They've already drawn an massive amount of mana in. We're not sure how much energy that is overall. They might need more supplements, but we don't know how long it will take for them to need that. We might not be able to wait them out. A battle might drain their energy, but the losses that will be needed to drain their power so that they would lose enough might be a lot. And for all we know...
That's if we can even get past the force shield enough to do any damage.
There have been plenty of magics that create force barriers, but one of that scale is unheard of.
Not entirely. The Dragon Engine had one.
Again, Kesh will speak up because she had some knowledge on the Dragon Engine.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to be as big as that one. That one seems to be kind of a bubble around it. And honestly, the one that the dragon had seemed to be more of a skin around it.
True. Oof.
But yes, it was a similar kind of barrier. I don't know if we'd be able to pass through this one, though.
No.
That one, small people were able to pass through. This one, unfortunately, I wasn't up to date on a lot of our military technology at the time. I know that parts of my body were based on military designs. My father had connections, and his expertise in biocybernetics allowed me to create me. But still, connections to things that were more military grade does not necessarily mean I have the same level of that sort of technology in me. I could try to connect up with their intelligence that controls that thing, but it overpowered me very easily before.
That could be something we could remedy possibly at these northern research stations.
Yes.
Figure out a way to hook into it a little better, maybe.
Well, there was a signal, so there might be a way to connect remotely.
There might be a way to bypass some of the defenses to get in there.
Yes.
Oh, we gotta go north. I need a thicker coat.
If we find nothing north, another option does exist. As a representative of my nation, parley could be attempted to get at least one person.
The man that spoke up earlier would be like, very least you, or perhaps I, could get in there as representatives of our nations. Some of the others. But even with our expertise as military force, I doubt we'd be enough on our own. And getting any soldiers or more elite, such as your associates here, might be difficult.
Yes, it would not be easy, and as much as I pride myself, I am just a man with a stick at the end of the day.
You're a very good man, sire. And I'm a very good stick.
That's true.
Does your stick talk?
Yes, it's a recent occurrence.
I have a weird fish snake made of lightning that follows me around sometimes.
It's been hanging around the Hellkite one. It likes that.
Yeah, the Hellkite one.
Yeah.
One's closer to the water.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well then, I'm going to see if I can make some contact with some various beings that could assist us, perhaps, if we need to go to some form of battle. And I'm going to try to negotiate with some of the nations. I suggest, Cole, you reach out to Orvata and organize your forces, but don't do anything. Same could be said to the rest of us. Joyra, you and the Weatherlight, I will need you to observe things from afar. The Weatherlight's speed might be the only thing that allows you to get in there and get some information and out. Certainly you seem a lot faster than the Hellkite 2. With your core. Tefri, I want you to reach out. From what you've told me, there might be some other individuals that might take interest in what's going on here. And I don't want any other influence going on with this issue happening. I will just warn everybody that there are things out there in the universe that, beyond the multiverse, that might find a way back into Dominaria. So far, they have not. But there are ways of traveling beyond ones that broke. So, we've just been observing for them. And making sure nothing bad happens again. We've had enough apocalyptic events, and this one is cusping on it, but certainly hasn't reached there yet. Claud, Kaz,
Yes.
Carrion. Do you think you and the Hellkite 2 can take care of this task heading north?
Oh, easily.
And then, talk to the head of the academy. Do you think you could try to get some information out of Dolmar Du? Maybe anything. Perhaps awakening this has sparked his interest. If it's needed, I could call for some people that are a little bit more silver-tongued to bring out the best in his words. I have some friends that we could call upon.
Well,
That's a plan.
shall we get going?
There is no time. Do your best.
All right. Was that Teferi who said there's no time? Because I swear to God.
No, that was Nim.
Okay.
Nim's
That
taking like
chrono
a
answer made a fucking
Nim,
timeline.
who's like the self-appointed guardian of Dominaria, kind of in the shadows, has kind of taken a center stage. You know. He'll.
Yeah.
As you begin to get ready to depart, Tefri will approach you. Perhaps it will be nothing. Perhaps it will be something. But I must make you of a warning.
Okay.
We're going to be treading into a place that Nim was right. There are some out there that have an attention that might be attracted.
Look, are you gonna get mad at me for tearing a hole in the sky too?
I think plenty have already gotten mad at you enough for this.
Yes. It's getting very tiring.
As someone that has caused issues with time and space before, purposefully and accidentally, I cannot fault you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Not just me.
My homeland has disappeared and never returned.
Ah. My sympathies.
I attempted to save it from the invasion, but in doing so, I doomed it to a place that beyond our universe, and I have not found a way to bring it back.
Well.
I will tell you this much, though. For, as of now, the danger to Dominaria has not been significant. But certainly this and the ongoing battle may attract attention of forces that are dangerous and would still love to turn their eye to this plane. Phyrexia lives.
terrifying warning, but something that we will keep in mind.
Keep an eye out. They may find opportunity. They are not the same as they once were. And a great invasion would not be as easy as it once was. But that doesn't mean influence and other things could occur. It's a little early, but why don't we end it here, because it's a perfect spot to heading north.
Heading north. We're gonna make snow angels.
There's a Thoranian signal up around the North Pole. That was activated once the horrible sky fortress that is looming above you was activated. So.
Snow demon, excuse you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, snow demon, of course.
Mm-hmm. Snow demon.
Oh, snow devil, technically.
Demon.
No! Fiendish creature.
Fiendish creature. Snow fiend.
Snow demon.
We could go Pathfinder Snow Clip Off, because everybody loves Clip Off. Or as a friend of mine called them Clip Arts. They're
I
spelled
don't
with
know
a
what those are, but I would also call them clip arts.
Yeah, I call them clip arts. Dog.
I could explain them, but it's think the Abyss and things that predated demons, but weirder and more chaotic.
That's a cool Teifling.
I have read Lovecraft.
Yeah, so weird chaotic evil things, like a giant fuzzy ball bat monster with like 8 eyes that just spits out these little weird fuzzy blood droplets that become horrible monsters that invade entire worlds.
Yep.
And the thing is like the size of a mountain. It's that's a clip off. They're weird. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us today. We are ending a little early just because this is a really good spot to end at, and we could kind of get into the northern part here, but honestly, I kind of like the idea of like ending for a nice, good climax for the next part. Hey, this is the end game. Your enemy has thrown their hand out there. Giant death fortress.
Somehow they managed to be slightly worse than making a dragon.
Somehow, Palpatine has returned.
True.
I mean, like, honestly, yeah, this is worse than the dragon in a way. The dragon, it's powerful, but it's still just an elder dragon at the end of the day.
One time.
Mm-hmm.
One time.
It's like a supercharged elder dragon. But again, it's still just an elder dragon. If all the other dragons got pissed off at it and probably decided to fight against it, including the reincarnated primeval dragons, they could probably take it. It's just convincing dragons to do anything that's not for dragons.
Look, I didn't resurrect Nicol Bolas or anything. This is just one lady.
This one can't planeswalk, yeah.
She can't planeswalk.
Yeah, so it's only like a...
Well...
She could survive a
planeswalk because she is undead.
Yeah, she is undead, so she could survive it.
Yeah,
She can't voluntarily planeswalk.
No. And she's probably... There's a lot of weird things about that. But anyway, let's give shout-outs and say goodbyes and stuff like that. And get ready for an exciting next week, because you're heading north. Mads, do you have anything to shout out?
Here, and you can see my dog in the background.
Yeah.
Dog butt.
I mean, I can say, like, Damien's sleeping downstairs, so she decided, like, earlier she was hanging out and showing up a lot. Now she's decided, I'm lazy and just sleep. But that's Cat. Fish.
Hi, everybody. I'm Fish Harlan. This week you can find me dedicating myself to the old medieval chivalric code.
Good luck on that one.
Thank you.
It's a lot of discipline.
Oh, I'm not going to do it for long, just for like a minute or two.
That means you can't kill any peasants.
Why would I kill a peasant ever?
They have like 250 gold on them the whole time.
Yeah.
Fucking...
Yeah, if you look at the peasant NPC stats, they are commoner. They do have 250
Pathfinder
gold.
First Edition, because each enemy was supposed to have a certain level of gold. It's supposed to represent their total wealth of the world, but they don't show that off.
just all commoners have 250 gold, and all ship captains of fishing vessels have +1 chain shirts.
I'm gonna go back in time and destroy Pathfinder, I think. You know what? That's what you can find me doing this week.
Look,
Erasing Pathfinder.
No. These are fine. It's just there's common sense related to certain things that people don't do.
I'm going to delete it.
Look, if you delete it, we're just going to be stuck with 4E, and 5E will have never existed.
That's true. The world might be better.
No, I'll fix that with time travel too.
No,
See, that's the thing with time travel.
I just play 3.5 then.
Yeah.
Time travel makes problems, but guess what? You can just fix it with more time travel. Nothing can go wrong.
No.
I don't...
Zero flaws of this plan.
That's what Back to the Future's about.
Yeah.
Momo, I'm just going to move on to you, because I can't argue about messing up timeline anymore.
You can catch me here on Wednesdays, where I play in a pirate game as a fox currently, who's a little bit sassy and aggressively gay.
Nice. So fox are bad.
Yeah. And then Saturdays for discussing tabletop, where I am a grumpy boomer.
I mean, we're going to be grumpy boomers this week about everything that Wizards of the Coast talked about.
We might have a Zoomer, though.
Yeah.
To balance it out.
The option of the Zoomer exists now.
I think it could be. I won't be here, so I'm going to say my opinion. Could be fun.
Honestly,
I agree.
Could be fun.
I'm not going to complain about anything they've said at this point in time. It looks pretty good. I just also feel like but could you have done a little bit more different than Pathfinder 2? I mean,
well, they've just started, to be fair.
And this is just the first Unearthed Arcana.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of these.
They're going to be doing it over the next year.
Yeah, if they were put this out as the finished product, then I would agree with you. But this is the first draft.
Okay. And you got to remember, the point of Unearthed Arcanas is for people to play test it, give their opinions so they can modify things.
Yeah, they did Artificers 3 times before they actually published it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Joe, do you have anything to shout out?
My question is, what does the fox say?
It screams in terror as it makes shadows consume people.
Yeah, it's also like a series of high-pitched yelps.
Look, also the fox person is a shadow oracle, so they do actually have horrible shadow monsters that they summon to consume people.
We'll just summon a bunch of shadow dogs to eat people.
Yeah.
I wish I could have joined for Saturday, because this is an interesting topic, but I will be in Jersey celebrating my fiance's 41st.
There will be more opportunities, I'm sure, with more of these Unearthed Arcana.
Oh, yeah. They said they're going to be coming out with them almost on a monthly basis.
I missed the monthly Unearthed Arcana. I gotta admit, that was good when they did that. Like, when they stopped doing that, it's sort of like, well, I mean, like...
I think they stopped doing it because they were gearing up for this.
It could have been.
And they still do on Unearthed Arcana, so just kind of bare bones.
Yeah, I think that their main focus is
we haven't even gotten to talk about Spelljammer this weekend, which is going to be bare bones, which, that's a thing to talk about.
Opinions on that one.
Yeah.
But all is mildly forgiven because they've given me a Dragonlance book, so...
Anyway, I'll probably do more Final Fantasy 12 tomorrow. Honestly, during the morning stream, I'm gonna go. I guess I'll go through some Terra. That's a big. That's like the not. I've gotten to where I can go to the final dungeon and beat the game, but I'm like I'm doing some optional stuff.
Like the super boss to kill or something.
Yeah, I'm not even at the super boss yet. I've got like the optional final dungeon and like a couple other things to take care of, so I'll probably do those, It's, like this one dungeon that I fought through today. There's like a second dungeon that, like, because you go up this tower. There's a dungeon that if you go below the tower, too, that's like, it's optional. Subterra. So I'm going to go do that, probably tomorrow. Hell yeah. And there's some, like, hunts down there and stuff like that. So anyway, that's my schedule, and then discussing tabletop. Saturday, I'm definitely going to be off Sunday, because I think I'm going to be going to New Jersey, because my sister, I was unable to see her on the day that she randomly texted me when I was visiting my grandmother to be like, I'm on the country, and I can maybe see you. And then she's like, I'm showing up at 7 o'clock at night. We're not hanging around in New Jersey till 7 o'clock at night. Sorry. So I'm going to actually go see her. And then next week, probably going to finish Final Fantasy 12. Do some more Pathfinder, Rath the Righteous, and I don't know what else at this point in time. That's where we're at. Probably add something else. I got a few ideas of non-RPG related stuff to add in something. Maybe a survival game, or maybe I've got another option. So anyway, that's schedule. That's what's going on. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Hope you come back next week, because Arctic Adventures and maybe some more Thranian-based stuff related to that Arctic Adventures. Hope it'll be enjoyable. So until that time, farewell everyone. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Auf Wiedersehen.